Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana says the performance of Eskom to keep the lights on has significant impact on the country's economic growth. Consumers are enjoying one of the longest periods of a free load-sharing time in years. That's as Eskom says it has sufficient generation capacity and emergency reserves to meet demand. It says load shedding will remain suspended until further notice. The power utility hasn't imposed the power cuts for more than 3 weeks now, and this afternoon Eskom will conduct a media briefing to give some kind of in-depth update around the utility's operational performance and present its winter outlook. Watching those developments very closely ahead of that briefing is Katlego, Legodi, who joins us now live for a sense of what to think about. And Katlego, again, there have been skeptics around this load-shedding free bout that we're enjoying in South Africa. You know, many people drawing it to the upcoming elections, but the Eskom officials who've spoken out have rubbished some of those claims. What else, I wonder, can we expect to hear today?
Most definitely. A very good morning to you, Ayanda, and to our viewers at home. Minister of Electricity, Dr. Hosian Soramogopa, has been working with Eskom and the NECOM to give us an update just frequently around the work that has been done in terms of the energy action plan that is in place. He's the man at the helm, but he's been working with Eskom, and it's quite interesting because we haven't been here in a while. You'll find us today at Eskom's headquarters, Megawatt Park, and this is where indeed we're expecting to hear from Eskom management, the EXCO, around the work that they've been doing over time, but also they'll be giving us an update in terms of what we're going into. You know very well that winter becomes a tricky season or a period for Eskom in terms of the demand that becomes heightened, and a lot of us will be plugging into the system to try by all means to keep the lights on and our heaters and the likes. So Eskom will today be giving us a sense of where they are, where their plans are concerned, but also they'll be talking to us and giving us an update here, Ayanda, around the work of the Energy Action Plan in terms of recovering some units at some of these power stations that Eskom facilitates or manages. Also looking at the work that has been done in trying by all means to ensure that there's about 2,500 megawatts of electricity plugged into the system this in the coming 5 months. So the electricity minister has been really upbeat to ensure that they keep us updated about what has been happening here. But today, for the first time, Ayanda, we'll be hearing from Mr. Dan Marokane. It's been about 55 days or so in office for him. You know very well that he started just in March to take over as the CEO of Eskom. And this is where, often you hear a lot of people just talking about and attributing where we find ourselves here to him just coming into office here. And today we'll be hearing from him for the first time. He's given a commitment about 100 days in office to ensure that he stabilizes the grid and he comes through for Eskom. So today we'll be hearing from him, coupled with support from the Eskom board that will be giving us a sense of where we find ourselves here. Interesting as well to hear from the Democratic Alliance, speaking to my colleague Natasha Piri there. This is what the minister, even last week already, he was trying to dismiss, or earlier this week he was trying to dismiss, to say that load shedding has been used as we speak right now as a politicking tool, and he's saying that there's no more or less link to where we find ourselves, the reprieve to any politics or the elections that are upcoming in May 29th. He's dismissed that, and I guess Eskom today, they've also dismissed that through Mr. Mteto Nyati. We'll be hearing from them if there is indeed linkage to where we find ourselves now, but a celebratory moment for South Africans because it's been 30 days of no load shedding, and most of them will be watching our screens this afternoon to hear from Eskom in terms of whether this will be continued into the coming months, and maybe this could be an indication that load shedding will soon be a thing of the past. Ayanda?